And yeah, it's an honor to me to have you here. And first of all, thank you for your time uh, for this interview about the Stryper first time here in Colombia. So yeah, how are you?
I'm good. Been busy with the new album. We're working on a home right now, so we've been dealing with that, and then we're getting ready to go on the road and do a tour. I leave in just a few days, so life has been very fast paced, to say the least.
Yeah, about that, it's good to have you back touring now. So how do you feel to be back on touring again after the pandemic?
It's amazing. I mean, we could have gotten out and toured last year and done some shows, but we decided not to. And we waited till this year. And we went out and we did our first run in May of this year, and it went really, really well. We postponed a few weeks because of a bus situation and lack of buses. So we postponed some dates until next year. But we're going out. We're doing, like, I believe, 7 shows. We're doing the Kiss Cruise. We're doing a Mexico run, and then we're coming to Colombia, of course. So we're really excited for the first time to be performing in Colombia. It's going to be super, super high energy and very, very exciting.
Yeah, and talking about your show in Colombia, what are your expectations about the Colombian fans? What can they expect from the show? Why didn't you come earlier? Because here in Colombia, you have a big fan club.
See, I always wonder that. I wonder, like, do we have a lot of fans in Colombia? And I hope we do. We've never come before, so you would think that there'd be a great turnout, and it would be amazing to see that. My expectations, I think that I know it's going to be an amazing night and a very special night. And I think because it is our first time there's going to be an extra high level of energy from not only the band, but more importantly, I think from the fans. And I think that's going to, as I said earlier in another interview, those two are going to collide and explode in a good way. It's going to be amazing. So I look forward to that, feeling that energy, being a part of that. And I think it's going to be a show for the books, a very historical show that is very unique and one of a kind.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the big concerts of the year here in Colombia. And talking about that, how do you feel to reunite not only the old generations of the Stryper, but the new ones, the young people? How do you feel about to reunite all these diverse public of people?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, whenever I go to perform in front of people at a Stryper show, it's always amazing to see not only people who are my age, but to see people that are in their teens, who are 14, 15, 16 years old, in their 20s, mid-20s. It really blows my mind because it says that music is such a powerful tool to me. It unites all generations, right? And that's the one thing that we all have in common. We love music. Might be different styles of music, but we all love and appreciate music, and it moves our lives and it changes our lives. So, and that's multi-generational. That's all generations. Doesn't matter how young you are, how old you are. So to be a band that is firsthand witnessing that is amazing. It's humbling. We're forever and eternally grateful and thankful for that. And we welcome our new fans, young fans. It's amazing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's completely amazing because, for example, I am 26, sorry, and I have my mom, and she knows Stryper, and when she was young, she had she had my age, she used to listen to this kind of bands, and it's amazing how the music goes year by year, and the generations, you can transmit the music, the message. So it's going to be a big concert and a big opportunity to see you, because Stryper is one of the biggest bands of hard rock, heavy metal. So I presume we can hear some of the classics of the band, as, I don't know, Calling on You, In God We Trust, Free, Loving You, All for One, Soldiers on the Command, because if you don't play these songs, maybe it's not a Stryper's concert. But what can other songs we can expect? Because it's your first time, and you have, if I am not wrong, 14 albums. So they are a lot of songs. How do you choose the songs for the set list?
Well, that's a good question, and it gets tricky sometimes. Because we're releasing this year the Final Battle, which is our number 14 studio album. So, you're talking about 150 songs, 150 plus songs. And then you add all the other songs that we've released, like God, off of The Covering, and a lot of other songs over the years on compilations and what have you. So, maybe a catalog of 170, 75, 80 songs. I'm not sure exactly. But how do you fit, into a 90-minute set, or at most a 2-hour set, all the songs people want to hear? That's very difficult sometimes. But I think Stryper does a very good job of it. We, of course, do all the classics. You named every single one. We will be performing, by the way. And then, we're doing some songs like there's a song we released from an album a little while back, and the song was called Sorry. I don't know if you're familiar with that song or video. Yeah. And it's a newer song. It's a really cool song, and people really like it. We'll be performing that. Of course, we're doing songs like Always There For You, which was a big video for us and big song for us. We're doing some of the newer stuff, a song called Divider, and This I Pray, we're doing. So we're trying to mix it up. We've got songs like Yahweh and The Valley.
Yeah.
We try to mix the old with the new and make it flow and feel right. That's the most important part. And not do too short a set or too long of a set. But I think this set, people are going to be very pleasantly surprised. They're going to enjoy it. It's going to be an amazing night. I promise everybody, it's going to be incredible. And you said something earlier, and I just wanted to elaborate on that. About the generational thing. I think another reason why, parents, your mom listened to Stryper, and then now you listen to Stryper, is because I think, a good song is a good song. It doesn't matter how old you are. If there's a song that you hear on the radio by a metal band or a pop band or whoever it is, and it's just a good song, it makes you sing along or tap your foot, right? That's all that matters. And, that's the power of music, is it can do that and reach all generations. And it's so amazing.
Yeah. And I suppose you are going to present something of your new record, the Final Battle. And you have released some new songs from that record, like Rise to the Call, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and Transgressor, the newest song. If I am not wrong, this song released like 5-6 days ago. So we can expect something of that, right?
Well, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. That all depends on our label. A lot of times, our label doesn't want us performing songs live until the album is out. Now, sometimes the band makes a decision to do that. I don't know if we're going to do that in Colombia. If we're going to play any new material from the album that hasn't been released yet. That doesn't come out until late October.
Like,
So that's a good question.
sorry.
It's a good question. I'm not sure. I said, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not certain of that. But I can tell you this. Since we're coming to Colombia and we're performing for the first time, we were able to work it out, figure out how to get there and how to do it logistically. It means we're going to return to Colombia. I can assure everybody of that. And when we return to Colombia to do another show, we'll do a different set with different songs, with more songs added, and mix it up. Because we definitely do that. You know, we'll offer that for sure.
Okay, so this is going to be like some special show because your first time here in Colombia.
Oh yes, absolutely. And you know, the only way I can describe it is, you know, the first time we went to Puerto Rico, for example, in 1987, we had performed in many different cities and countries before then. And we've been touring nonstop. And then we went to Puerto Rico. It was the first time we ever had been to Puerto Rico. And it was just intense, the energy. And I really believe that, I feel that Colombia is going to be the same way, that there's going to be a level of intensity that the band and the fans have not experienced before. And it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, here the Colombian fans are very euphoric, very passionate about music. And I don't know, maybe to talk about that with other band members when you are touring in Latin America, about that energy of the public. So I have some kind of personal question, and is what do you want to know about Colombia? I don't know, maybe, yeah, there is something about that you want to know, a place or something in particular?
Yeah, I would love to know, like, what do you recommend in terms of when we arrive to Colombia? Is there something that we have to see, you know, or something we have to try? Food, a restaurant, coffee, a location, it's something we have to go see and visit, you know, let us know, please.
Oh, yeah, sure. You can prove, I don't know, maybe something typical here of some food like ajiaco is some kind of soup, or bandeja paisa if you want to have something you know, on your list to do here in Colombia. And talking about your shows, in this time, what will be new compared to past tours? Maybe some surprises.
I mean, maybe, but if I tell you, then it won't be a surprise. But there might be. I don't know. I know this. You know, when we perform, every night is different and unique wherever we go. You know, if we're playing here in the U.S. and we travel down the East Coast and we start in Boston and work our way down to Florida to Orlando, say, you know, every single night's different and unique, and it makes it very special. Now, when we go somewhere for the first time, Colombia, I mean, we've been talking about this and thinking about this art for almost 40 years since we began. You know, Colombia, it's always been on the radar. Like, oh man, we got to go. So you're talking about almost 40 years of having not gone to Colombia. So it's going to be very special. I really think it's going to be very special. And I think it's going to be a powerful movement musically and spiritually. I think the message, you know, the lyrics, everything's going to be very powerful. And I can't wait to experience it. Looking forward to it.
And talking about that, the new Stryper album, The Final Battle, will be released on October 21st. So can you tell us something about that? What is the concept of the album? What is the message you want to transmit, to share with the people when they hear the music?
Well, I mean, the message with every Stryper album is hope. You know, for people to always hold on to hope, cling to hope, no matter how much despair there is in our world, and there's a lot. But, you know, the final battle is referencing the Battle of Armageddon. So if you read the book of Revelation, you will read about the Battle of Armageddon. And in my opinion, that's going to be the final battle. You know, that's the battle where God comes back and casts the devil into the pit. And everybody knows, for the most part, about that. But also, I've had many questions asked about, is this our final album? You know, some people want to know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We're getting older. We've had some health issues over the years, and I don't know if it's our final battle. I don't think it is, but there was a slight implication there as well with the title that maybe it could be. But you know, we live in a very turbulent world right now. There's a lot of things going on in this world that make us very vulnerable, you know, whether it's war or whether it's the pandemic or whether it's hate, you know, it just, you name it. We're all experiencing a very different and unique world, and sometimes a very negative world. So Stryper wants to be positive, relay a positive message, and give people hope with every album that we release.
Yeah, and yeah, talking about that hope and the the album, it's interesting to see the cover, because I don't know, for me the album cover is amazing. I know it was made by Stan Decker, and it's I don't know, for me it's powerful because you can see like some angels in their horses, ready for the battle, maybe for the apocalypse. So you want to share something about that?
Yeah, what it is, really, it's portraying visually our idea of God returning, you know, coming back. It's described in Revelation, book of Revelation, him coming back on a horse, a white horse. And the way he looks on our album cover is how it's described in the book of Revelation. The four angels coming back are supposed to represent the band, four band members. Mm-hmm. And we're coming back really not so much as an apocalypse to wipe out mankind. It's more so a message of hope that we're coming back to battle evil, you know, to fight evil and put evil in its place once and for all. And that's really more so what it's portraying. So it's even though it looks kind of scary, it's not. You know, it should be a reminder that there's hope, and things are going to get better at some point. They might get worse to a degree in our world, but at some point in the future, things are going to get much better, because, you know, all these things in the Bible we believe to be true, and they're going to take place, you know, and be fulfilled. Some people think we're crazy for thinking that, but, you know, everybody knows we're Christians, and everybody knows what we stand for.
Yeah, and talking about that, have you, I don't know how to say it, but how do you feel about that category about a Christian band? How do you feel that they say, oh, a Stryper, this is a Christian band, and yeah, and you have a message and you want to share it, but also you are a hard rock heavy metal band. So how do you feel about this kind of categories in the music?
Well, I like to refer to Stryper as a band, a metal band that is comprised of Christians. I don't like the term Christian rock band. I never have. You know, when I was a teenager growing up, someone said, "Hey, have you heard this Christian rock band?" I used to think, Christian rock band? What does that even mean? You mean a rock band that has Christians in it? I used to think that then. I just don't get the labels and the terms. I feel like those can put limitations on bands. And, you have rock music, you have pop music, you have country music, you have Latin music, you have metal music, you have, there is no Christian metal, or in my view. If you're going to do that and label everything, then you have to label all the bands that sing about the devil and call them satanic bands, satanic metal bands. And we don't. So Stryper is comprised of 4 Christians, and we proudly stand for Christ and have for almost 40 years, and that will never change. We're not ashamed of our faith at all, or ever will be. But we're a metal band at the end of the day, but a metal band who believes in God. So that's the difference.
And what do you think about these bands that have a satanic message, and they are very representative about these kind of ideas? Like, for example, in black metal, there are many metal bands of this tendency. How do you think about these bands?
Well, I mean, I don't know most of them. I'm not familiar with many of them, but I am familiar with some. I think that some of them really do use it as a gimmick, that they're not true Satanists, or they don't really worship Satan. I think that there are probably a few that do, that are serious about it. But that's the difference with Stryper, is we really, live for God. We're true Christian guys. I mean, we make our mistakes, but we don't just sing about God. We live for God, and that's the difference. I remember, I'll never forget the first time I heard that Tom, singer, bass player for Slayer, they're up there with pentagrams and singing about Satan, and he's going to church on Sunday, which is great. But it just told me instantly that it was just more or less a gimmick. It wasn't real, versus somebody who is a practicing Satanist or a real Satanist. And I know there are a few bands out there that are true, real Satanist, and that's, what do I think about that? I mean, I don't agree with it. Everybody knows where I stand. I believe in the Bible, and I'm a Christian. So, I don't agree with Satanism and what they believe in, or who they believe in, or what they stand for. But at the same time, a lot of times I respect the music. I'll hear a song and I think, wow, they're really good. I respect the talent. You can't take that away from them, but I think it's God-given. I think God blessed those bands as well. So anyway, we could talk all day about that.
Yeah, very interesting topic, a very interesting perspective about you. And I'm so glad that you have the time for this interview. And yeah, hoping to see you in a couple of days, the October 10th, in the first Stryper show here in Colombia. The hype is high. So you're going to
Nice.
have a very good response of the Colombian fans. I'm sure about that. And yeah, we are happy because this is historical. This is going to be one of the biggest concerts in metal of the year here in Colombia. So again, thank you for your time, Michael. So glad to share this time with you, and hope to see you soon in the future.
Thank you, my friend. I will be looking for you at the show. Say hi to your mom for me. And
I will.
You have a wonderful day, and I can't wait till we get to Colombia and we're able to perform. It's going to be magical. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Michael. Have a good day. Have a good week, and see you soon.
God bless you, buddy. Take care of you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.